Hi, I'm Tom Doherty. I'm a fourth degree Knight of Columbus. The fourth degree is for patriotism. Today I'm happy to introduce a program to you called Lest We Forget. The program is intended to honor our veterans who have been affected by recent wars, by post-traumatic stress syndrome and traumatic brain injury. I'd like to introduce to you David MacArthur Jr., a former Marine who was involved with 3 IEDs in Afghanistan. The shock waves from these explosions was so great that it affected his brain. He is the victim of traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress syndrome. So now I would like to introduce you to David MacArthur Jr. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you. Sit. Good
David,
girl.
could you tell us a little bit about how you were affected in Afghanistan with the roadside bombs?
Definitely. So I was in the Marine Corps in Afghanistan. I was involved in multiple IED blasts and explosions. My brain was essentially bruised, and then on the 3rd IED that I was involved in, it actually tore the bruises that I had in my brain, which left loss of little to no peripheral vision, memory issues back to memory loss back to 2008, concentration issues, constant headaches, balance issues. I mean, just a whole mess of things. So I was medevaced and sent to Landstuhl, Germany, and then eventually I ended up in Balboa Naval Medical Center, San Diego, where I spent about 2 years in recovery, 5 days a week, working on just getting better, just being able to get medically discharged and sit back to the civilian world. So after about 2 years, I was medically retired, and then I came back home to St. Louis, and then I went to a program, a week-and-a-half long program put on by the Midwest Marine Foundation, where it basically, you're cut off, no cell phones, no anything with the outer world. It's in Augusta, Missouri, and it's classes from dusk to dawn. And there I met Bahesha Doan, which she runs a disabled veteran in Carbondale, Illinois. And she talked about these dogs that they trained for all types of trauma: rape, car accidents, loss of babies, veteran trauma, combat, all sorts of trauma. And she said that they will test your dog and train your dog if it passes, or you can get your own dog. It's essentially a 6-month program. And just previously, my family had bought Delilah as a pet. She was just a few months old at the time. So we got connected, and then, I ended up going out to Carbondale, Illinois, where she was tested, and she passed. So she said she had to wait, Delilah had to wait till she was 6 months old before we could put her into the program. So as time went on, she went into the program and dropped her off. She went to about 3.5 months of training. They go with all different trainers. I mean, they fly in planes, go on buses, they go to stores, go to the movie. Anything that you could ever do with the dog, they do. Plus, all your symptoms, the dog gets trained for your symptoms. So once they're trained, then you get flown out and you stay in a hotel and you then train with them. So what she does for me is, since I have no peripheral vision on my left side, she will stay by my left side and she'll alert me of anything. If I'm going to run into a wall, going to bump into anybody, she'll kind of bump me in the right direction. She will, if I have nightmares, she'll lick my feet and she'll wake me up. She licks my feet due to the dog not being injured, because if anyone touches my face, my body, or anything, I have a bad reaction, a little bit physical. So she touched my feet. she can, I can get a pull cord installed in the house, so if I do fall and I'm unresponsive, she can pull the pull cord and will call 911. She'll alert me. So things like we're walking down the street and I see stuff, she'll see things on the ground, trash, sewer drains, whatnot. She'll push me out of the way because I don't see it, and if I step on it, it could cause a flashback. Could be an IED or, that kind of sort of deal. If I'm talking to someone or somebody is approaching me and she can sense that I'm not really liking it, she will actually get in between that person and myself and will push that person away. She can remind me to take my meds. But one of the main things is her companionship. She's a companion. She's always close to me, as you can see. She can sense when I'm uncomfortable. I get a tick in my eye, in my head. I rub my palms. If she sees any of that, it's instant. She's up on me, giving me kisses, doing all sorts of loving gestures. If I'm even at all upset, she's close, and that's she's always with me, and she's allowed me to do so much. She's allowed me to be me again, allows me to be a dad, a husband, all the things that I need to be. She's someone to talk to. She's the hard part about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is that when you talk to another human being, they always have emotion, and I don't like that emotion. I just want to talk to somebody, get something off my chest, and that be done. Perfect with a dog. I can say the most angry things to her. I can yell, I can cuss, I can do whatever verbal to her, and she's still gonna love me. I can say the most scariest and hurtful things that I've been through, and she's still gonna love me. And that's one of the main things, is just her companionship is just different than anything a human being can give you. A dog is a man's best friend for a reason. They definitely say that for a reason. So it's for all trauma victims. Like I said, not just for veterans, but for the veterans. If you are combat wounded, it is zero cost to you. It's zero cost to the veteran. If you got any other trauma, you do have to pay. It's very expensive, the $30,000 to $40,000 range, whether you get a dog from them or get yours trained. So it is very expensive. So donations are huge. They're a nonprofit. They're definitely a life changer. So I would definitely encourage you to look into This Able Veteran and see what they have to say. But I'd love to answer any questions if you guys
If you have any
any.
questions that you'd like for David, please.
David,
Yes.
your wife's not jealous of her?
Oh, no, not at all. They're actually, they're all in love. She's actually another mother figure. I have a daughter and a son, a 5-month-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, and if one of them falls, she's the first one on the scene. She is the mother, so she's very, very loving to all of us.
What would you say to another veteran returning from war that maybe has some of these symptoms that you would encourage them to get some help?
Get help. Don't wait, because it just escalates. Definitely need to get into the VA system, or go to join a league, a Marine Corps league, or VFW, and you need to talk to people. You need to get help. You need to. Don't be a tough guy. I know I had a real problem, because you're always told on the, if you talked, you didn't see nothing. That's the way it's always been. If you say anything about combat, you didn't really see anything. You're making it up. That's baloney. You need to talk. You need to get stuff off your chest, because the more you talk, the easier it is. It's not a fix-all, but it gets easier. So it's definitely, don't wait. Definitely get into the healthcare system as quick as you can. That's kind of I mean, I would go in more in depth, but
All right.
yeah, that's the
David,
gist.
thank you very much. I'd like to introduce, if I can,
Yeah.
your father. From a parent's standpoint,
Delilah's number 2. Whenever he can't have her,
this is David
something,
Senior.
then I take care of her, so she's pretty good. Go Jim. Go Jim. I'm David MacArthur, and thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. It's always tough. I'm a parent of a wounded veteran. I always tell people, I said, I grew up my whole life. My grandpa served in the First World War. My dad served just right after Korea. I didn't serve. I chose not to. And then I had a son who decided to. Moose was that little kid that was always big, thus Moose. He lost 100 pounds to make the Marine Corps. He was a dedicated Marine, still is. And, you know, as a parent, when your kid's deployed, I tell you what, it's better than any weight loss program in the world. It's when you kind of know what's going on, and you wear that St. Christopher medal constantly, and you kiss it 20 times a day, and you never want the phone to ring, and you never want anyone to knock on your door, because you never know what the news is going to be. And that's not changed anything from anything you ever saw from World War II to this current day, because they still notify you the same way that they did years ago. Moose got hurt May 13th, 2010. And I got that phone call from him, actually, that said he had been hurt, run over an IED. I'm fine, Dad. That's what we heard. I'm fine, Dad. Well, we found out that he wasn't so fine. And then as it progressed, and he went through the 2 years of recovery and then came home, and I found out more about the system that's supposed to take care of our veterans and how inadequate it is. For people that have never experienced post-traumatic stress disorder, I'll just tell a little story. Moose and I were at our Marine Corps League, and we were doing some cleanup for a new thing, cleaning out an oven, all right? I'm down on my knees because he can't bend over, and I'm hosing the inside of this oven out, and he's standing there with a hose, just with a vacuum cleaner, just sucking up the water. And all of a sudden, I'm in there, and I hear all movement stopped. He's standing there like a zombie. The older veterans will remember the 1,000-yard stare, right? Just dead-eyed. And I come up, and I'm, Moose! 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 What's wrong? That loud, 2 feet away. Never flinched. Never saw I was there. And suddenly, it's just like this. Moose, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine. No, what's wrong? I'm fine, Dad. No, something's wrong. Just took me back. Well, what took you back? The water coming out of that oven, running across that floor, was the color of coffee. Well, folks, he said to me, one day we came up on an A&A vehicle that had run over a IED, and when I got to it, and when I got to them, all that there was blood and oil. Blood and oil. So the most simplest little things, and combat veterans know this, the simplest little daily things of your life take you back. And that secondary mind takes over. And that's PTSD, it's just one little example. And it happens to these veterans time and time again. And that's where that dog, if she's with him, she senses that just in the very beginning of it. And gives him a hug and gives him a kiss. And it stops that connection from happening. So that's just kind of a little brief thing of what this father's seen. So thank you, and thank you for your support, and thanks for the opportunity to talk.
David, thank you very much. October 26th, from 10 to noon. October 23rd through the 26th for the barbecue. Make sure you come out, and if you're a knight, you need to work the event. But make sure that everyone knows, all of your friends, to come to the event, specifically on the 26th, and to listen and become aware of our problem that is affecting 60,000 veterans. Thank you.